our creed to break the chains and set us free. Riders on the prairie, the wild and free, bows and arrows, cold 45's decree. No more tyranny, no more lies, under open skies we rise. Fight, fight, fight till we reclaim the night. Cowboys and Indians in the blazing light. Fight, fight, fight till the dawn is near. We'll never live in fear. On the blood moon, we all unite. Horse loose thunder in the night. No longer slaves to the empire's might. Strength in numbers, strength in rise. On the blood moon, we unite. Horse loose thunder in the night.
Welcome, you beautiful patriots, to another episode of the Cowboys and Indians podcast. Of course, with me today, I have Steve Loves Ammo and the Lectern legend, Lectern leader, I believe you're called, but I prefer calling you the Lectern legend. How are you doing today, Adam?
Man, I can't complain. I woke up no headache. Bones were fine. Joints were not sore. 40 years old and lived my best life.
That's great to hear. Steve, how about you?
I am the polar opposite. I am 41 and all of my joints hurt. No, I'm kidding. I'm doing great. Doing great, man. A little pissed off about what's going on in California, but we'll talk about that.
Hey, but we got Texas, Florida, and I guess I live in Washington State, so I can't really, you guys are in freedom states, and I'm out here in liberal hellhole. The riots haven't started yet, so I guess that's a bonus. But yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of news over the weekend with, I guess, the riots taking place. It just so happens that we have an insurrection expert, the world-leading expert in strategical relocation of government furniture, Adam, the Lectern leader here. I'm sure he can give us some great insight on what exactly is taking place in Los Angeles and how it compares to the Pearl Harbor that was January 6th.
Well, first of all, they're doing it all wrong.
9/11, yes.
Yeah. One knows a true insurrection, you have to bring American flags, not another country's flags, into, the state that you live in. And you shouldn't be burning down businesses and taking over roads that the public shares. You should be going into government buildings instead. If you want to make a change, you got to do it there.
Well, see, there you go. I mean, that's tip one. I mean, as you guys can see, let me share this screen with you.
Yes.
Because it seems like they have this all wrong. This mostly peaceful protest has gone
Are we making this
awry.
a how-to?
I'm not sure. We're
We're
just
doing
gonna
a
wing it.
how-to podcast on insurrectionism.
Yeah. 5 things to stage a good insurrection. 5 good tips, yeah.
Okay, so that was one. All right, there we go.
right.
Step 2.
Oh my
Do you
God.
see how their faces are covered up? You don't want to do that. You want to be identified very easily by the FBI so they can come hunt you down in your homes at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I can't wait to see where this is going. This is amazing. This is like Lecternism 201. This should be an actual college course.
Oh,
Yeah, and
God.
you know what? That actually is not a bad idea, because the college courses that they're teaching now is teaching this anti-American hatred, and a lot of these people are actually college educated, and they were educated in the ways of hating the founding fathers, hating America, hating everything about this country.
Yeah.
And it is so weird to see the Mexican president coming out and saying that basically in support of the rioters themselves. And not only that, we have our own politicians here. Let me share this with you as well, because this is so interesting. It's what's her name? It's Pramila Jayapal. She's one of the lovely.
Oh, she's
certified
retarded. Okay.
Oh.
So this is I have a question about this, because they're waving Mexican flags and they're burning American flags, They have the support of the Mexican government, and they have the support of some insurrectionists in our government. Just take a listen to what she says here.
We're here to say free the immigrants that have been arrested.
The immigrants that have been arrested.
We are here to say end the ICE raids.
End the outrage.
We are here to...
There you go. The great wisdom of Pramila Jayapal. Jayapal. I don't know how to say her name. I'm sorry.
Not a very American name, first and foremost. We can just start there.
Right?
That's true.
Sounds like she might be H-1B visa. I don't know.
I think Vivek just entered.
Well, did I say that out loud? Whoops.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. These people are happy with the government doing their jobs when they exercise their authority going after people that they want them to go after. But as soon as they go after their black blockers, as soon as they go after the people who actually want to see the end of our country, not the refortification of our principles and our values, then they get upset. I've seen this comparison lots of memes past couple of days, January 6th versus what's going on in California. And how many insurrections have we had since January 6th, 5 years ago now? How many times has the Capitol been stormed? How many cities will be under duress in the next couple of months? And at the end of it, we really should be very clear and say, listen, I would be happy going along with saying that January 6th was the worst day in democracy if we're holding the same timbre for what's going on in California and for what's going on across our entire country, what will be coming during the summer. But let's be consistent.
That's a good point.
Are you asking a communist to be consistent?
Only in the bread line.
Look at this face. This is the if you want to compare scenery between the two of them. Look at this beautiful
That's
face.
one
right
good
here,
looking
this man.
insurrectionist. I will say that.
Yeah, like if you had to like if you got to choose your team, like if we're picking dodgeball picks here, but like it's insurrection picks, I'm picking Adam. This guy's a great guy to have on the team.
Oh God,
Cool.
Yeah, that picture right there. Yeah, that was a great picture. I was looking
golden,
around at everyone,
Right,
just
you got
walking
him.
around, looking at the paintings, just like, man, we did it. We told them no more. We told them please stop.
Okay, so are we doing like an insurrectionist draft picks right now? Because you picked Adam as the number one overall pick. All right.
Okay.
So
okay.
I'm going with the QAnon dude with the Viking. cap.
You go.
What's his name?
Oh man, I'm gonna message him right now and tell him to come on. We're gonna battle.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, we can have like or insurrection draft pick, lottery pick. Let's do it.
Jacob's a nice guy. I've met him a couple of times.
Jacob
Very pleasant.
Tansy. Thank you, man. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I was trying to brain for it. Thank
Very
you.
pleasant human being. I also am big fans of Timothy Hale. I'll give a couple of shout outs. Timothy Hale, Free State Will is fantastic. Stop Hate does a lot of the behind the scenes works, goes through thousands of hours of videos, releasing footage that the public they have access to. No one wants to give it any secondary looks about why cops were tear gassing citizens sitting around and singing the Star Spangled Banner.
Is it okay? I got a question for you. Why do you think that there's so many comparisons to January 6th? Is it because it's literally all they have, and it's like there's no other comparison? So they excuse the what was it, May 29th, I want to say, back in 2020, when they stormed the White House and Trump went into a bunker, and not only that, the BLM riots that caused billions of damage. Billions of dollars in damages. I mean, dozens of deaths, and for some reason they don't compare in any way, shape, or form to those. They just look at January 6th and go, "Well, obviously, it's the same thing." Why do you think that comparison's there, Adam?
Because there is another comparison to make. The right, we don't typically protest. We show up for elections and then we fall asleep for 4 years. And I think a lot of us understood that after the 2020 election that we didn't have an opportunity or a choice to sit back again and say, well, maybe better luck next time. And then when we saw what Biden did across the 4 years afterwards, I mean, good Lord, record numbers for Trump showing out for voters. I mean, they tried to murder the guy. I think the reason they can't look at the right and give more instances of us showing up and protesting is because honestly, we're lazy. And that's a critique for all of us. I think we should take that to heart. Just because we won doesn't mean we anything, it means we got a guy in office now and a handful of decent picks, and we got to keep pushing.
You know, I've actually really been thinking about that as to like why I personally don't protest or, you know, go to events like that. And one of the reasons that I came up with, maybe it's a justification, maybe it's an excuse, I'm not sure, but like I truly try to embody the values that I preach. I want to embody the values I wish to see in this world, and that is prioritizing family. It's working hard to provide, and it's calling out evil when I see it. But it's not going out in the streets. We had Enrique Tario on last week, and I kind of talked to him a little bit about the way that the Proud Boys went around and were like sparring with Antifa and things like that. And I was like, what was the point of it? Like, what were you trying to accomplish? And in the end, he was kind of like, it wasn't really worth it. And I was like, I kind of feel that, you know, it kind of seems like, it's pointless because you're not actually accomplishing anything. You're getting people, you're becoming the boogeyman for the media. You're basically giving them ammunition. So I don't know if it's necessarily that we're lazy. Maybe we're lazy in stomping out evil, but not in embodying but we're not lazy in the way that we're trying to better this country by doing the work every day, the mundane work that nobody actually wants to do, right? Especially like the newer generation. So
I guess my argument is, how effective is it though? And for Tarico's point, like, I mean, how effective was it going out there and battling with Antifa? Obviously, not everything we do is going to be the winning strategy, but there's going to be some, you know, some fails, some wins, but you got to keep pushing and trying new things, because the left, they are 100% into this. They are. If we take a single loss, we have people quitting by the dozens. And I don't know. There's also, when you look at people who are black bloc rioting, when they're dressing up all together, when they are that heavily organized, how did they get there? How did they get to the point where they were so organized? And I think it's because people didn't correct them in real time at the beginning. We were quiet. We were pacifist. We just wanted to get to our cookouts and sports on the weekends. I was at the bank today, and there was an older lady who was just going off about all of California is Trump's fault. I mean, she's speaking very loudly in a bank, crowded lines, and I felt the need to correct her out loud, because I believe that's what we should be doing. I think in our quietness, in our passiveness, you know, let bygones be bygones, these people have been emboldened and empowered, and that's why we have black bloc riots. It's why we have people organizing so effectively. I think we need to be engaged at every level, and not every strategy is going to work, but you got to be throwing darts at the board to hit something.
Absolutely. I'm absolutely 100% in agreement with you, Adam. We have been way too complacent for way too long. And honestly, I think, in my opinion, the difference between us and them is they're out in the streets and all that. Their politicians don't care about them, right? But us, as, you know, conservatives or whatever you want to call it, we elect our leaders to do something for their constituents, right? In my opinion, if these politicians and these Soros-funded organizations start getting held accountable, start getting arrested. I mean, President Trump was arrested for inciting an insurrection, right? What's going on with Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass? He literally laid the foundation. He said it is an insurrection in California. So he, in my opinion, I could be eating crow, but I think he is laying a foundation, playing that word game. Those people need to be held accountable, in my opinion.
I completely agree. I completely agree. But according to Chuck Schumer, Trump actually incited an erection.
This dude put a slice of cheese on raw hamburger. Why are we even listening to this guy?
You know, what's interesting is John Fetterman has said a lot of interesting things. And he's actually tied to reality a lot more so than a lot of the Democratic heads. So in this, true, post-stroke. But he says, I unapologetically stand for free speech, peaceful demonstrations, and immigration. But this is not that. This is anarchy and true chaos. My party loses the moral high ground when we refuse to condemn setting cars on fire, destroying buildings, and assaulting law enforcement. Now, this tweet or this X post shouldn't be like breaking news in any way, shape, or form. I mean, this should be an agreed upon notion by the overwhelming majority of citizens. But for some reason, we have the media and a lot of the Democrats that just absolutely refuse to condemn these kinds of actions, which is obviously more destructive. They're not trying to benefit the country. They are actively trying to disrupt, cause chaos, and harm as much as they can. There's no good intentions behind this. So it's interesting to me how they still won't condemn acts like this. It's like they're waiting for more, right?
I think it's party over policy, right? You're going to choose your people. You're going to choose your constituents, right? And I think it's important to point out that there have been a lot of voices that came from January 6th. And from very early on, I have said, Smokestack actually brought this up. Would you say the same thing about January 6th? I have watched conservatives say it was just a guy tour, LOL, shaking my head. And that's a great point. So I will thank you for mentioning this. People who engaged in violence that day, I have always condemned that. I don't think it's a good thing. I've never said it was a good thing. But that is about 5% of everything that happened that day. Those videos you see, the curated NBC put together, montages they put for January 6th, 1,000 cops died. That was the smallest percentage of participants that day. And I use this analogy for the left as often as possible. I will not condemn BLM fully and wholly, because 95% of them that showed up to protest something that they believed in, showed up to protest and something I thought was right. I don't have to agree with it. I don't have to like it. I can actually be vehemently against it. Yet and however, the nonviolent ones who showed up, marched, and went home, they didn't break any laws. You want to talk about the 5% who broke into stores, set buildings on fire, a black officer was murdered during a robbery. We don't hear about this. That's what we should be talking about. We should talk about the preservation of First Amendment rights. What we're seeing, the people who are throwing rocks at ICE vehicles, the people who are throwing stones at police vehicles, these people are what threaten our free speech. We should be talking about them. You want to talk to people who, they're immigrants, they're good people, whatever. They have a right to say that. But they need to be able to do so publicly. But it's not burning cars. It's not hitting cops. It's not destroying property.
Right. And I think
maybe
people
using
are
some
getting really
furniture
frustrated
occasionally
is because right. So President Trump was held accountable, right? For lack of better terms, like he had the mugshot and all this other stuff. I think what people are getting really frustrated with is the two-tier justice system. So nothing happened during the BLM riots. Nothing's going to happen in LA unless there is some accountability at the top. I don't think grabbing these low-hanging fruit is going to make any impact, because it's just going to continue, and it's going to embolden those people. But if we get these politicians held accountable for inciting insurrections, they arrested Donald Trump for it. I'm going to repeat that a governor and a mayor can be arrested for this.
Well, they laid the groundwork, right?
I don't understand.
They set precedent for January 6th, is what they did.
Yes.
When you arrest people for using their First Amendment rights, for free speech, for showing up to protest, and you give them Enrique Tarrio, what was it, like a 21-year sentence or some nonsense? And he was 22. And the DOJ wanted to go back and give him more time because they wanted more time against him. He wasn't even there. When you want to set this precedent federally, I guess we have to play the same game, because I don't think they're going to stop.
Yes.
I think if the Democrats ever get in power again, it's going to be a nightmare for anyone who spoke up across these next couple of years. So I think you're absolutely right, Steve.
You know what really bums me out about this entire scenario? Is that the MAGA movement voted in a lot of ways to start dismantling a lot of the institutions that have the opportunity to become corrupt, right? I mean, every institution does, but the way that our institutions are set up right now, it just kind of depends on who's in power and what they want to do. And like Steve and I have discussed this before about how Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, they talked about abolishing the FBI and the ATF and all of these other institutions. And once they get put in there, they're just like, you know what? I want to represent this, which is in a way it's honorable. But just in a way, it's not the goal. Like the goal is to start dismantling the ability for the FBI, for the ATF to run over the people the way that they have been. And the problem with the riots right now is that there's no way for us to dismantle any of these governmental institutions, these federalist institutions that will and can trample your rights whenever you step out of line when these riots are happening. Because there's no way for us. How are we supposed to advocate to tear down the FBI when we have millions of people around this country about to riot everywhere? Like the only way that I could possibly see that would happen is if they just allowed like state militias to form. That's the only other way, but that would cause more chaos and more death. There is way more like downside to that in a way, not necessarily for freedom, but you would never get support for it.
Yeah, so I think you are just completely on the right track here, Mo. I really do. My issue is, and I've talked about this. Let's say, first of all, why would you dismantle a weapon that has been wielded so effectively for the past 50 years? Obviously, it can do a lot of damage. It can do a lot of work. Why would you give up the ability to use that when you can wield it yourself, right? It's the ring of power for all the nerds out there. I think I'll keep my precious and see how well I can use it myself, even though you might be corrupted at the end of it. The second thing is, let's say you do dismantle them, you tear them all down, you abolish it. A new Congress can just vote it back into power and give it authority in the next 4 years.
Right.
So at best, you're just staving off, the inevitable. So we landed where you landed. Well, what that means is that the people need to be emboldened. And by emboldened, unfortunately, that means through hardship, realizing their rights really are being stripped from them one legislative session at a time, one tax bill at a time, one deficit at a time. So I don't really see another way around this other than, look, if you want this, come take it. But I mean, we're talking about martyrdom at the end of it. That's a very heavy topic. I know a lot of guys who went to prison for a long time, served as martyrs, and they will never be restored, never made whole again. And I'm doing fine. Things are okay, but I wouldn't ask anyone else to do that. But I don't know how else we're going to make it through without it.
Actually, 100% agree with that, man. And the thing that's kind of been bothering me all day is the reasoning behind these riots. Like it wasn't for a federal election or something just. It's for people that do not belong in this country. They are protesting keeping them in. And I mean, I saw someone comment earlier that most Democrats are moderate, and you have the extreme leftists that are doing this. Okay, fair enough. But at the end of the day, it's the principle behind what the riots are. These people have come into our country, and they have perverted our sovereignty. And as a United States Army veteran, that pisses me off more than you can imagine, because we went overseas. I'm not even going to bring the military-industrial complex or any of this stuff behind it, but we went over to protect someone else's border, right? Now we can't even protect our own border. We have all these people getting in the way, and all these veterans that went overseas and died or bled or got injured, in the sake of American freedom or democracy or whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, like, these people are protesting something that shouldn't even be protested to begin with. I don't even, it baffles me that there are actual Americans that are siding with these illegals. and doing all this stuff. But I think someone commented earlier about Soros Foundation. Follow the money behind all of this stuff that's happening right now, and hold those people accountable.
If Enrique Tarrio and Joseph Biggs and the Proud Boys can be federally prosecuted in prison for decades for organizing an insurrection in the country, the people who are paying for pallets of cinder blocks to be dropped off, the people who are busing people in as organizers, why is the FBI going after them?
That's a great question.
We know.
Wait, is Pam Bondi scheduled for Fox News tonight? I don't know.
Probably.
This is it's the same thing with when Holman first got in and talked about we're going to start deporting people and we're going to go find these people. Look, man, it ain't hard to find them. Go to Home Depot at 5 o'clock in the morning. These are not hard people to find.
Yeah.
They are not. Go to that club that just stays o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning that plays only Spanish music and brings in 3 pallets of cerveza a day. Like, it's not hard to find these people, but they're not going to go willingly. So I think the best way to do this is to help them go willingly, or at least help the people who are harboring them, help them go willingly. We should start arresting people who give these people jobs. You are aiding and abetting illegal criminals in our country. That is a felony. We don't have to do anything about going through the Supreme Court or anything about this. That's already a law. You are aiding and abetting an illegal, that's criminal activity. That's a very easy arrestable offense. We should be going after CEOs of Walmart, CEOs of Home Depot, CEOs of Lowe's, everyone who hires these people. We should be finding them into surrender until they start giving us lists of the people who they are paying to be here and work and take our taxes, take our benefits, and then we need to send them back and charge those companies for having them stay here. But that's just a small idea. I got born.
I really like the idea of starting to arrest the ones who hire, because and this was the left's plight for a long time, was that these corporations were bringing in undocumented immigrants so that way they could abuse their ability to have cheap labor, basically slave labor, exploit them, and get away with avoiding paying taxes and having cheaper labor. At some point, I don't know when, but that kind of flipped. And now the left is like, no, we need these. Like, who's gonna pick the apples if we send all these people back? Who's gonna clean the toilets in my mansion? Okay.
Look,
I got an idea.
First of all,
the ones that are government assistance.
Clean your own bathroom. It's not hard. Look,
I'm just going to
say the water. Sit down and pee. Until you can get there, just have a seat. Second of all, there's a lot of sugar and fruit. You should be eating more red meat. So I don't really need the fruits and vegetables to be picked. Just how many?
I got a simple solution for this. You want to get government assistance like Medicaid or food stamps? You're going to go pick the fucking potatoes or tomatoes or whatever. That's how you continue getting government assistance. You're going to actually work for it. Done. Kick all them out. All the illegals. Bye. Man, woman, child.
I have thought all these federal buildings that are just completely vacant that we own, but we're still paying taxes to own, that have no employees in them. Why don't we set up a shop where if you want to be on government assistance to get free food, and we do want to make sure you eat, because if you're an American citizen, you qualify for these things, you should be able to eat. There's enough money coming into the system. We can take care of people. But you're going to spend 4 hours, one Saturday or Sunday a month, and you're going to bag groceries for everyone. We'll consolidate the items. You're not going to go get to pick out Fruit Loops and chocolate milk. It's going to be staples. You will have oats and grains, and you will have hamburger, and you will pack your own bags, and you go home.
Well, that's fair. Okay, so Smokestack here is saying that they do pay taxes. I was talking about the corporations. One of the ways that they can avoid taxes is hiring these or paying them under the table in nefarious ways to avoid taxes. Now, albeit that's smaller, but yes, the ones that get paid under the table, they don't pay taxes. So that's become a really popular narrative that I've heard from the left, is like the illegals pay taxes, and it's like,
They pay taxes.
I mean, some of them, I'm sure that they do, but
Well,
some
good.
of
Then
them,
there's
or a
good. Then
lot
they
of
can
them,
pay it their own way home.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Talking about the ones getting cash money.
Good. Like, okay. Next.
Right.
yeah,
I don't care if they pay taxes. They don't belong here. You came here illegally. And I was told if you enter something illegally, you should go to prison. Now, if you don't want to go to prison, you can go back to your country. This is actually very simple. Listen, you can't sit here and tell me these countries aren't a shithole and then complain we get sent back to them. Pick a lane. Pick a lane. What's so wrong with the country you fled with? You're happy to fly that flag in my country. Well, I guess you should live there then. If it's a country you're so proud of, why aren't you there? Why aren't you there?
that was actually one of the main
Exactly.
points that I had on one of the videos that I posted today. It was just like they're flying the Mexican flag and at the same time protesting against ICE. Why are they protesting against ICE when ICE is literally offering them a free ride back to the country of the flag that they're waving right now? Like they're like, yeah, Mexico, woo! ICE is like, all right, we'll give you a free ride home. They're like,
Right.
no, you tyrannical piece of shit! I want to stay here and wave this flag. Like, I
And
don't
listen, the
understand
journey
that.
getting
You're
back
so
is
racist.
a lot more comfortable
You're so racist.
than the journey getting
Stay
here. You're not crossing the Rio Grande with the coyotes as
Yeah.
they're abusing children around you. This is a nice flight with a short bus ride. Hey, listen, here's the door again. If you went willingly, here's the door again. Come in legally this time. And we can vet you. This is not even we're
Exactly.
kicking you out permanently. This is like, look, just there is a way to come back. Everything's waiting for you, but there's a way to come back.
You know, there is a streamlined method to becoming a U.S. citizen in 2 years. Join the military. You want to sacrifice for this country? Join the military. 2 years, you will gain your citizenship. But whatever.
No,
So
citizenship
it's one
is
thing
not
you
fair.
never
I know that.
notice.
I think that this
If-
right here. So again, Smokestack says the majority of immigrants who come to America are more proud of America than the ones who are born here. Yes and no. In a lot of ways, this is an old way of thinking because a lot of the immigrants in recent years have been coming for the benefits. They've actually been virtually recruited to come here, their journey paid for, and we're told that they're going to have free healthcare. You're going to get a cell phone. You're going to get transported to whatever city you want,
Right.
and you could. They didn't come here to say, "This is the land of opportunity," and I want to make something of myself and contribute to this great country that's given me this opportunity. It has been very recent in which these criminal aliens have been recruited to get shipped up here into various cities around the country and to receive benefits. It is very, very different. Like that, I understand that thinking because I initially, like years ago, I thought that, but there was a shift years ago where Democrats were like, okay, we can get more power in Congress by shipping in as many of these people as we can, and we can eventually turn them into voters, and with all the benefits that we give them, then we'll never lose power if we ship them around to the various cities in this country. And so it's been a very strategic thing. It has nothing to do with the love of the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, our God-given rights in general, and the loving the land of opportunity. It is about the benefits they're going to receive and what our country has to offer them in that way.
I think you're hitting on some great points there. It's so I think the point he's making is the point that you started with, where we said the same thing with the homosexual population, right, or the black population that went through civil rights movements. The first generation that actual struggle, they actually wanted to be equal, not better, not separate, but equal. And they fought for the civil rights, and they got there through a lot of strife, a lot of struggle. But I've noticed the second and third generations, the new iterations, the new people coming over, have no struggle to go through. They were told they were owed this because someone else said you were owed this. And I think that's probably what he's harping on or relating to in the same way you're saying, where, maybe people did have a chance where they did go through hardship and it was difficult, but the second generation didn't suffer. The third generation's weak as hell. It just feels like they're owed everything. And here we are. Now you combine that third generation with the new people that are coming over, these communists, these propagandists that are paid through Soros, backdoor funding. Now we have an actual problem, because we're not just, it doesn't take a mass migration. It takes maybe, in Germany talked about the population who actually stood for the Third Reich Rising. It was like 10% of the entire population that said, yeah, we're on board with this. And like 60% was like, yeah, but the groceries are cheap, so I guess it's fine. You don't need a mass migration of millions upon millions of people to start riots in the cities. You need about 1,000 people, about 1,000.
Yep.
And you need about 60% of the population who was just complacent or compliant with it, saying, yeah, but doesn't affect me.
Doesn't affect me. There's actually something really okay. So today there was something interesting that happened, and it's that same mindset of it doesn't affect me. Let me pull it up really quick.
So while you pull that up, I want to make one point.
Do it.
Have you ever seen a pro-America protest in Mexico City? If someone can find that for me, I will give you $100.
I'm pretty sure we call that spring break, and it happens in Cancun.
A legitimate protest. Oh my God, Adam, you're awesome.
We send our best and brightest. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my God. Anti-communist, like, just give me the $100. No. Oh yeah, this guy.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows what's going on with this guy, LA Scanner. At least you should know. If you don't know, he decided that he was going to be a big, strong internet anonymous man and dox ICE agents. And then somebody decided to dox him. And it was one of those things where it's really easy
Plot twist.
to fight a revolution online when there's no consequences for yourself. You have no skin in the game. It is just the idea of I'm doing good in the world. And for some reason, this guy thought that it was good to dox ICE agents. So somebody doxed him and his family, of course, and which is typical. Like, my entire family got doxed, and like when I got swatted, it was like,
I'm not
my
laughing
wife's
at that.
family.
That's awful. Yeah.
Well,
What are you laughing at, though?
Oh, just this guy. Like, no, not like that. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Straight up, he is the meme.
Yeah.
yes, like he became a meme. That is hard to do. That is hard to do. He made it. I feel bad for his family, guys. Seriously, don't go after kids. Don't go after wives. Look, we're all out here doing, politics and trying to make a difference. I don't agree with this guy, and he shouldn't be doxing people. That's awful. But I'm not going to lose any sleep that he got doxed either. But still, be a good person. Leave the kids alone.
So, and this is another thing about embodying the values you wish to see in this world, right? The rules that I want to play by are honor and integrity and, winning honestly. The rules that he wanted to play by was doxing people online, so that way, hopefully, some Antifa types or their ilk would be brave enough to go to their house and harass them. And so he was trying to bring bad, well, what do you want to say? Bad juju on those ICE agents, harm to them. And as soon as he finds out that the rules that he's playing by affect him as well, he quits. He apologizes, he cowers, he bends the knee, and he's like, no, I'm so sorry, guys. This is not what I meant. When I said that I wanted to dox people, I didn't mean me. And it
Dude, straight up, this is a FAFO moment come to fruition. Like, what was the intention by doxing the locations of those ICE agents? He wanted something nefarious to happen to him. So in my opinion, he got what was coming to him. Well, if look, so y'all wanted to talk about the wives and kids or whatever, then he shouldn't have been doing that shit in the first place.
Or
He's
whatever.
the one that
That's
put
the most
himself in the
important
harm.
part.
Yep. So again,
What?
but I've been harping on this for the longest time. People, it's the precedents that we set with January 6th, the precedent we're set moving forward. Any power you give to the government will be used against you on a long enough timeline. Stop pushing the envelope. We are in a death spiral. I don't want to see anyone get doxxed. Like, I think you should be able to speak. I think what this guy did, he should be arrested. That man should be found out and be arrested for jeopardizing the lives of the people. State of Florida, Ron DeSantis has made it a felony. He has made it a felony. So, I mean, oh God, if someone doxes me, good Lord, I'll be at their court hearing as well.
This guy is a felon already. He was.
Oh, good.
He was,
should be easy to find then. Should be easy to
Yeah.
find then. He's on a list somewhere. Why has he not been arrested? He should be arrested. If you dox people, that is actually bringing
where you
harm
live.
with malintent. Oh, I love Florida.
I know his account's
I love where I
deleted.
live.
So
I love Texas too. So, I mean, sorry, Mo.
I don't think you guys even have a court
Sorry.
system. It's basically, yeah, as long as you drag him back inside, it's all fine.
Hey, I just thought of an idea. Why can't we change the country's name to the United States Capitol?
Oh,
Then,
What?
dude, we wouldn't have an invasion anymore because
This is
they
true.
came in. I mean, like, why don't we just change the name or call? I think there was one about calling us Ukraine or something like that, so they'd spend a lot of money on our border.
oh,
But anyways,
I know. Good
Sorry,
Lord.
killed
How
that
long until
conversation.
people start putting Mexican flags in their Twitter profiles? The Ukraine flags
Oh,
are
God.
gone. We just need to have a Mexican flag, Twitter heavy profile bio. You know what? I'm putting one in my bio right now.
right?
I am.
a Mexican
I,
flag.
s-
Do it.
I stand with taco people.
Wait, hey, what is this thing I've been seeing about?
Only on
Everybody's
Tuesday.
been calling Trump taco. Why is that?
Listen, Jill Biden called them breakfast taco people or something, right? Is that not what we call them?
Oh, dude, yes.
Look, the vernacular
My
changes
favorite
from year to
breakfast
year,
tacos.
and I'm 40 years old. It's hard to keep up.
Yeah, well,
Trump always
One of the-
chickens out. That's what the acronym stood for.
what taco?
Okay, so did you see? I know retard finder, right? Yeah, taco. Yeah, so like Brian Krasenstein just put taco. Did you see retard finder's comment on that?
No.
Okay, he said, this is his words. He's like, we know you, Brian. It stands for take a cock only.
Oh,
Are you sure it's a he?
I mean, I don't think he's wrong,
Yes.
but there's definitely a more polite way to say that. That is,
We went a little rated R, but
look, with it being Pride Month and all, and
I love that account. I'm sorry. I love retard finder.
No, he's a cool guy. We've chatted a couple of times. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy.
Anyways, sorry, I didn't mean to kill that conversation again. What you got, Maurice? What's the next topic?
You got like a 2-second delay, brother, on your.
Now
You need you know why? Because
Oh,
you
dude,
called
I know.
out
I'm
Elon
sorry,
Musk
guys.
last
I
week,
apologize.
and he's punishing you.
Yeah, so what? I voted Trump 3
That's what I'm
times.
saying.
I didn't vote for Elon Musk. That's a narrative from the left, right? I didn't vote for Elon Musk. Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Just
the
checking.
exact quote from Joe Biden was, "They are as unique as breakfast tacos." Yeah, give me just a second. That's
What?
that's on mine.
As a Texan,
Yeah.
I love breakfast.
Mhm. I don't want to see
As a Texan, I
These-
love brisket ones.
breakfast tacos deported.
You guys
They
seen the
are
drama
delicious.
between JD Vance and Gavin Newsom? How they're kind of they're Twitter beefing right now.
Oh,
Oh, they're going back and forth. They're going
Oh,
at
bring
each
it up.
other.
JD has got stats for days. He is He is just all in that. I definitely think he is the front runner for 28.
I would agree.
That reminds me of something else too. You know the what is it? What is his name? That guy Derek on X.
Derek Evans, or that guy Derek?
I think it's that guy Derek.
Possibly.
He does like men's fashion. He roasted the shit out of me a while back.
Oh God.
He like pulled up some of my wedding photos and was like
Yeah, that
dogging on like he was dogging on the way that I dressed for my wedding. And something about like I had all the buttons buttoned and something about my I don't even remember. But it was like he was speaking a different language to me because he was trying to tell me that I was wearing my suit wrong, but it was just like a jacket and I had jeans. And I was like, all right. Like,
Joke's on you. It wasn't even a suit. Shows how much you know about fashion.
This wasn't Vera Wang.
No, I actually, I love your sense of style. I really, really do, Mo. No one rolls like you do. You're like, I'm just here.
yeah.
I'm just here. This is what I am, and people love it.
You know,
This
I
is my
really
fashion style.
fed
It's
into
called
it as well.
Present.
I fed into it as well because I posted the picture of me in my jorts, like holding my gun in front of my
Here
truck
we go.
too, and I was like, "Oh, look at that! Hold on. This country was built by immigrants, and them white folks scared of becoming the minority."
Wait until we tell him about Italians and Irish people.
Hey, it's kind of insulting, sir, you coming into a Native American and saying that we didn't contribute to this country at all. I can't believe that you would come in and say that it just completely disregard all the contributions that Native Americans made and just say that it was completely built by immigrants.
Like the
That's
Constitution?
unbelievable.
Interesting.
I'm just
Interesting.
saying, I've been to many a fine
What?
casino.
Fuck ice? What? You don't like a cold drink?
I like warm soda, guys.
Oh, what an idiot!
Oh God. So listen,
God.
so immigrants did build the country, but you should definitely look at the fucking rosters of the immigrants that were first to come over and build the country. A lot of Italians, a lot of Irish people, a ton of Europeans, and last I checked, they are melanin short. They don't really have a lot of that.
Hey,
Whoa.
hang on, Adam. People that built this country actively pick tomatoes and are in construction of homes.
Look at them building it right now. These are the immigrants. They're building the country right now. I don't know what they're doing, but you know, this is
Well,
this
they're
is the
tearing
same,
it down
like-
to build it back up, Mo.
Oh, they want to build from the ashes. That makes sense.
You gotta break a couple of eggs to get roving rape gangs. All right, I mean it's a colloquialism in Mexico. I was there in Cancun a few summers ago. A lot of mistakes, no pictures taken.
I don't think Cancun's
Well,
real
we'll
Mexico.
see about
Hombre.
that. We'll see about that.
Oh God. Yeah. So,
We need to give a shout out to our sponsors really quick because I forgot.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to play the commercial really quick with Shop with America. And when we get back, Adam, I want to hear about the new ventures that you've been making since you've been pardoned by President Trump, of course. But this is as soon as we get back, we'll get right to that.
Welcome to Shop with America, where the emphasis is on America. Our movement is to switch away from your shopping with the big box stores and the mega corporations back to supporting family-owned, made in America. We've been giving these big box stores our money every day for years. But what's happened is they've forced many small businesses to shut down. We call this the illusion of choice. We see all these products in these stores, but in reality, it's only a few companies that control it all. There are thousands of lawsuits for health damage because they put profit over our people. But there is another choice. We found a better way. There's a family-owned American factory with product integrity and have always done things the right way for the right reasons. And this company outperforms the big box stores. That's due to their month-to-month shopping club. They make everyday consumer products that we all use and buy again and again, like toothpaste, shampoo, coffee, and organic beef. Go to shopwithamerica.us today.
You guys, please go to shopwithamerica.us. Join Start Buying American. You know, one of the things that we discuss in the show all the time is what you can do on the daily in order to make a difference in this country. One of the main things is keeping your money in this country. Stop supporting overseas slavery and all of the cheap widgets that they send overseas. Keep your money here in America. Support your fellow patriots. Support the people trying to rebuild our and continue building back our dollar.
I agree.
Hey, Maurice, before we get to the next segment. So over the commercial, I was looking at the live stream and some of the comments. And at I'm him, dude, best response ever. So someone commented, the live stream said, I can't watch. I'm watching my city burn. And he replied back, take a break.
Oh, God.
So that's why I was laughing over commercial break. It was so
Have
amazing.
you ever, I know, but it's LA. Have you ever smelled like burning piles of human fecal matter? It's got to smell awful. Like worse than normal.
Yeah.
What does fentanyl smell like when it burns?
Yes,
What's,
it's just
what's the burning point of that? Is
fentanyl.
Overdose?
Yeah.
I don't know. Ask George Floyd.
Woo! On that one.
Yeah.
Damn,
Wow.
I'm going to clip that one.
Wow. All right.
That was a barn burner.
Yeah, I got really sore in my neck after that one. Just
All right, Adam, what you got going on, brother?
Yeah. So on that's an easy segue. So
Yeah.
had a picture of like puppies or little kittens or something. That was rough.
Okay. All right.
The comment
Oh,
section.
I love
blowing
you,
up
Adam.
now. Oh,
I
that's
fucking
good.
love
All
it.
right.
It's
Oh.
it's great.
Someone asked me what neck. First of all, this neck was hard earned. This is 19 and a half inches of American jiu-jitsu. And choked so many times, it goes straight into the traps. I can't actually button collared shirts. They have to be custom made. I have a very weird body. Thank you for pointing that out. Anyway, so I've been
I can't even deal right now.
So I had a stipulation for my plea deal where I could not profit for 5 years off of my name, likeness, image, anything for like January 6th. I said that's fine. I found a workaround. So I started, I asked the AUSA, the Assistant United States Attorney's Office, DOJ, well, what if I just give all of the money away? So they said, well, we didn't cover that, so that's fine. So I started building little lecterns and we auctioned them off and just gave all the money to January 6 families who needed help. So we raised a few $1,000s for Christmas. It took off. eBay eventually canceled us. We were no longer allowed to do auctions on eBay. Viva Fry was actually the last guy who tried to put one up, and they just shut the whole thing down. They called it hate memorabilia, even though you can sell Nazi flags. So, go figure. So when that happens,
Right.
I said, well, I guess I'll start my own 501c3. So I bankrolled $10,000 into attorney fees, setting things up, got everything going, and that set off. I ended up getting a pardon from President Trump, and started an LLC after that. Now I have two of those businesses. The LLC is called unlicensed.furnituremovers.com. Lots of fun. You can buy little hats. I think Steve has one. Lots of fun. And 51% of...
He's a couple seconds behind.
Yeah, a couple seconds behind. 51% of all of the profit that I make from that website goes to my charity directly. Out of my charity, 100% of it goes directly to families who have been persecuted and prosecuted by the DOJ. It is apolitical. We're looking for families who have just been wrongfully done over, whether it's a gun charge or, You know, I met guys in prison who were serving 15 years for cocaine. And while I'm not an advocate for cocaine or drugs in general, and this is an old school policy that Biden put in place, where if it was, crack cocaine, you had a little bit, it could be up to 15 years of a sentence. Ruined families for decades. Someone's got to take care of these kids.
Yeah.
And Mo, what you've been harping on tonight is we have to be people that actually represent our actual beliefs and action. So when I talk about who I donate to, it's to everyone. It's to anyone. We should be indifferent when it comes to the kids. You want to see the next generation do better than the last one? We got to take care of them. So anyway, I got a business. We sell some hats. We sell some lecterns, keychains, coolers, things like that. But 51% of it goes to the charity, and 100% of that goes directly out to families who need help.
Are you going to write a book, Adam?
It's almost done. It's almost done. I am
nice.
I broke 40,000 words this week. So we're pushing about 215 pages. It should be released in October. And
It's my
it's
birthday month.
yeah, fantastic. Well, maybe I'll have you come with me. I'm doing a Capitol tour.
Oh, really?
I am. I can't say where I'm
Wow.
starting because I think they'll shut the Capitol down. But if you want to talk about it, I think we'll have a good time.
That would be great, man. I would absolutely love that.
Very cool.
And I mean, I'm glad it's in October too, because August we actually have a fairly big event. As far as I know, it's in the process of being set up right now, but it's going to be a big event. I know that DJ and Theotis reached out to Jason Aldean, and they're wanting to do an event to raise money for kids with cancer. So,
Love it.
and being I was a survivor of having cancer when I was a kid, and I mean, granted, I didn't have what DJ has, but it is. I think that's for you, Adam.
It's whiskey. It's actually Japanese whiskey.
Yeah.
It is Nika coffee grain.
I don't know what that is.
Delicious is what it is.
I have no
Me either.
preference when it comes to whiskey. The best whiskey I ever had was sent recently by John Rich. He sent me like a really nice bottle of his whiskey, and it was like it's like by far, like I'm used to drinking like Jack Daniels and like I don't know, some other kind of cheap whiskey. That Jack Daniels is the only one I can ever remember though. But I have no preference for like alcohol at all. They all taste the same to me. But until I had like some nice whiskey, and I was like, oh my god, there's actually a difference here.
So Walmart's
absolutely.
And they put this on clearance for $30 a bottle, and typically goes from like $65 to $80 a bottle, depending on the region you're in. So I bought 2 cases.
Oh damn!
Well, I'm gonna drink it.
Oh, yeah. That's
On a
fine.
long enough timeline. You know,
Yeah,
I'll
but I
bring one. You want to go on a Capitol tour? Let me know. I'll bring a
60%.
bottle out. Yeah.
Mama Bear, as far as I know, the latest news that I've got, there's been a lot of online talk that is, as far as I know, not true. But talking to DJ and Theotis, the results for his MRI it's been delayed basically. So there's not a whole lot going on. I saw today that he was in like critical condition from surgery, and I like freaked out, and I messaged him and I was like, hey, like, what's going on? And so there's a lot of speculation. What's that?
Well, I don't know what's going on with DJ. What's going on?
So
He has 3 new tumors, but they the 3 tumors were presented probably about 2 months ago, and like a lot of. So I had texted Theotis on the day that I saw that it was like, the prayers for DJ was really kind of trending about a week ago. And I texted him and I said, hey, I just heard. And he was like, it's fake news. But I ended up talking to him on the phone, and he was saying that the new prognosis was about a month or so old. So we were just kind of confused if like there were 3 on top of another 3. But he was telling me that he was trying to get the word out to a lot of news outlets, and he was kind of struggling to get that across. So, but yeah, they're a good family, really good family. I love those two. Supposed to be meeting up.
I don't know what you guys do on the stream, but I think it would be appropriate to pray for him. I think we have a lot of listeners here, and the power of prayer is important, and I think we're joining a lot of people. So that's something we can do. And we're being silly and things.
If you want to lead it, I have yet to be comfortable enough to pray on screen. I've given reasons for that, but in particular, it's more so. It's just kind of a personal thing, and I believe, and I don't like the fact that it can be replayed so many times. In how prayer works, I feel like it should be, like one and done. But then again, there's been so many people who have explained it in beautiful ways. Like, no, the power of prayer. People need to hear it, and if they need to hear it, at a later time, then it can be really beneficial. But I'm still fighting that battle internally for some reason. But as far as
completely okay. I was a worship pastor for multiple years, so if I ever felt led to pray, I pray. That's just But again, streaming is different, I guess. I don't know.
But I mean, if you if you wanted to say something, then I
we'd like to do a 10-second. If you guys feel led to pray in your hearts, just a moment of silence, quiet for him. I think God is a God who heals. God is a God who answers prayers, and I believe that we should just take a moment for him because we do care about him, right? 10 seconds, is that all right? Is that weird? I'll even come out here so it's not awkward. You won't even see me. Do it over here.
We're all gonna get out the screen. Look, it's just Maurice now.
I don't know if that was 10 seconds, but God.
I wasn't counting. I was praying. I believe God can heal me. He does hear our prayers, and I believe that DJ will recover from this, and I wish him a speedy recovery. Anything we can do to help him, you let me know.
Man, that kid's got a good heart, and
will do.
He's got one of the better mindsets that I've seen coming out of this. The diagnosis that he had with having 3 extra tumors and everything. One of the first things that he thought of was that he wanted to start a fundraiser, or have an event to help out other kids who are in the same kind of situation. And that I thought that was just, I was like, wow, that's actually incredible to hear somebody say that, and think beyond themselves and their own pain, their own suffering, and think, there's other people going through this too, and I would like to help them out.
So DJ has a family.
He's got a dad,
a father.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I can tell you what I can do. My sales this next coming month, every month we give whatever 51% as a way to a family. I think DJ will be next month's family. So whatever happens through that website, we'll make sure he gets that. He's the beneficiary of it.
That'd be awesome, man.
That's amazing, man. Thank you.
Kind of serious.
I'll take a bottle of whiskey.
I know. Wow. All right, you guys. But yes, please pray for DJ if you can. He's got a positive mindset. He's doing well. Make sure to visit the Lectern Legend store now. All right, now it's just stuck in my head. Now you're the Lectern Legend. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to change your Twitter handle or X handle. Jeez.
I'm putting it in the chat. Furniture. I could have chosen a shorter name. Furniture. It's unlicensed.furnituremovers.com.
Really?
Got it.
Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I'm going to put in the comments.
Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I'll be sure to up that as well. But you guys visit him, follow him on X. It is at Lectern Leader on X. And then, do you have any other social media at all?
It's I'm on. I just got an Instagram and Facebook to promote the charity. I don't really use it. It's just an avenue to make sure people get help when they need it.
Well,
Popped it in
I
the
guess that's a good
chat on the
thing.
live stream.
Thanks.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I saw that.
Adam, I really, really want to thank you for coming on today. I miss talking to you. You're one of those people that just, you have that aura, even over, online talking to you. I can still feel it. I can still feel that aura that you put off, that uplifting positivity that just lifts everybody else around you. And it's a beautiful thing. I really thank you for coming on today. I miss you, bud. I want to see you.
It's gonna happen. We're gonna work it out at some point this
Yeah,
year.
we need to link up again.
There's gonna be a range day. There's gonna be a range day at some point. I've got a couple events coming up, but I will definitely keep you posted because it would be good to see both you guys again.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
Cool.
Well, Adam, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you. Steve, is there anything you want to say before we get out of here?
I think we about covered it all, dude. I think we're good.
All right. I love it.
Had some laughs, had some cries, some prayers. We had it all, man. This is a very dynamic episode, probably our best one yet. And we thank you, Adam.
Oh, thanks a lot, Steve. I appreciate that. We'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, buddy. You guys, please share this podcast. Please. We'll see you on Wednesday, actually at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm not sure who we're going to have you on. I'm not sure who we're going to have on yet, but it will be a good episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please share it. We'll see you at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Wednesday. Take care and God bless.